Hi everybody, welcome. Rob Pravansky here from my studio, and I have a question for you. What marketing model do you follow and use in your photography business? If you don't have an answer to that, I think it's very important that you come up with one because it's part of the whole marketing schematic. Marketing is everything. Marketing involves everything to do with sales, publicity, branding, all the way from the minutiae to the experiences you deliver with your clients, and all the way up to probably one of the most important aspects, and that is the promotions and offers and pitches that you send out into your community to your past clients, current clients, and leads and generation strategies. For me, in my photography studio, I follow what I call the Swiss Army knife. So multiple sources of income. That's the metaphor that I like to use. I use a Swiss Army knife. Other photographers that I know cater to a higher end clientele, and they pretty much stick to that area, and that's all they deliver, and that's fine. I would have a struggle, I would have a challenge trying to mimic that sort of a strategy, because in my area it's largely blue collar, and we have about 150,000 in our population base. So I think a larger city with an affluent crowd to draw from, you can go into a higher end. Other photographers that I know are mostly into sports or high volume schools and such, you know, dance schools and maybe figure skating clubs, and more of a high volume sort of approach. Some photographers do a hybrid of both. They shoot weddings, high school seniors, high-end families, dance schools like Warren Noyce up in North Battleford, and then you got guys like John Ratchford up in Cape Breton who puts on his own promotions, and he puts on specials, and he's been very successful doing that. But the thing that I've noticed is they all have a specific sort of a plan and a series of activities that they do. And that's what I want to talk to you about today in reference to mine, what's worked for me, but more specifically, I want to talk about what I call the Ascension model. Now, this is not new to me because I've heard it before, and I've heard it from some pretty good sources, including Dan Kennedy, who's my favorite marketing guru. And I latched on to Dan Kennedy's books and his newsletter back in the mid-90s when I really got into the whole marketing. And he opened up the doorway for a lot of the success and the current success that I currently enjoy in my photography studio. I had a passion, and always have had a passion and a love for marketing, and he certainly filled that hunger. So the Ascension model, as Dan Kennedy describes it, and as many others, is really, really simple. You put out an offer, and you sort of place a ladder in front of the client so they can hop to the next level. So they ascend, and they ascend, and they ascend. Now, it's very similar to a marketing strategy that was explained to me back in the early 90s by the guy who owned the Color Lab. His name was Fred. And we had a good relationship, and he was, we'd send him all our work back in the old days when everything was processed in wet labs, and we used film. But Fred said to me, he said, here's a good strategy for you, Rob. He said, put out a promotion. And this promotion, by the way, is very, very valid. I know some photographers object to it. But you can go to a situation where you have a draw or you send out a free photo shoot. So you can go to a church group, you can go to a school fundraiser, you can go to a bank for that matter, or any business. You can do a display somewhere. You can be in a trade show and you can have a nice display with a large print, and you can have a ballot box with ballots that clients fill in, and they can put their name in for a draw. So when you do something like that, you got to make sure you have, by the way, just a little side note for you. Always put space for their first name, last name, street address, city, town, and postal code or zip code, and phone number. Don't expect them to fill that stuff out. You have to physically put that in your ballots. And I used to put, is it okay if we put your name on our mailing list and send you out occasional information and offers? And that way I would build my list up. So anyways, everybody enters, is obviously interested in winning the prize. And it's usually a wall portrait framed, very nice. And by the way, no weasel clauses. You never ever have, well, you can win this, but you got to buy this frame, or there's no frame included. Make it a complete deal. You don't want them to be questioning your trust or your integrity. So, okay, the Ascension model. So that's one example of how you would use the Ascension model. You send out an offer. In this case, it's a contest. Let's say you get 100 names. You draw for the winner. You get them in, or you go to their place. You take a picture. You use it as a publicity, and then you can mail in or email that picture to everyone else who entered and say, congratulations to Bob and Wendy Smith, who won the prize, da-da-da-da-da. And by the way, we've decided to allocate a second prize, or you don't have to say that, never mind. You say, by the way, you've won second prize, and by the way, everybody wins the second prize. And the second prize is a session with an 8x10. So they win that, and of those who win that, first of all, you know they're qualified because they put their name in. They know who you are. They've seen your print. And a lot of people are going to go, yeah, you just want me to buy more. That's a fact. I mean, let's not try and hide that, because it is an actual reality, and that's true. So, but that's okay. I mean, hell, I did it many, many times, and I'm going to explain a few more promotions that are sort of along the same line in a minute, but I just want to finish with that example. So they kind of, some of them are like, you're just going to try and sell me more. And you want to really have a positive rapport with people. They got to trust you, and they got to know that you're not Weasley. You're not going to push them into anything. And of the, let's say, so 99 get the second prize. Typically about 60 to 70% will respond. Now you can follow up, you can be really proactive, and you can follow up, say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Did you want to book and or take advantage of this second prize that you've won? That's a really good idea, because a lot of people will just forget about it, in today's day and age. So anyways, they're all qualified leads. And of the ones who make the session, a couple things to really pay attention to here. First of all, you're going to get a higher rate of higher maintenance. So clients will have different expectations. So it's up to you to sort of ascend them up from, we got a freebie, to, oh, this is something I value. Ooh, this is something that I'm going to start investing some money in. So you know what I mean? Don't expect them to come to you and just pour money onto you and make sales when you're using the Ascension model. It's an ascension. Everything you're sending from here to here, and that's including their expectations, and including when you're pitching and selling reprints and wall portraits and all that stuff. So you send them out, you get, say, out of 99, you get 63 sessions who book, they come in, and they know, I mean, a lot of them are like, if these turned out nice, this is the conversation. If these turn out nice, I might be interested in more. So by the time they get to the preview, the sales session, if you've done your job right, it's a cakewalk. You've already talked about price. A lot of people will come in the studio and they'll go, yeah, we really like your work, and man, we had such a good time in this photo shoot. Curious, how much does that print right there? And they'll point to the wall, and it'll be like a 40-inch, and then I'll start, if they say that, I got them. Unless I do something stupid. So if they point to the wall and go, how much is that? And that's really nice. Is that a canvas? So I start talking about that, and I'm dropping seeds in their mind. And I tell them, I say, tongue-in-cheek, jokingly sort of, but serious. I'll say, we can easily do one of those for you guys. And if you have a wall where you're interested in maybe hanging a print, let me know. There's no obligation, but take a picture with your cell phone and email it to me before your preview session, and I'll show you what your print would look like. All kinds of stuff like that you can do. But that's the Ascension model. So you went from cold lead to warm lead. They entered a contest, to in the studio, to in the sales room. And from there, the Ascension model does not stop, because now you have offers that also within your packages and or pricing, if you're doing a la carte, you can ascend. And typically, even people who use the a la carte, the a la carte is we just have, one-off prints and whatnot. It's still nice to be able to have something specific that you can offer to them. So if they come in and they've sent you a snapshot where they've taken with their cell phone of their living room wall, and you've determined that a 40-inch print with a frame is best suited, that's your pitch. So can you see the ascension here from free all the way up to they're now going to invest in a framed 40-inch canvas, potentially. And most will do this if you do a good job and you play your cards right. That's the Ascension model. So Fred explained that to me years ago. He said, he was explaining it to me, but with children's portraits. He said, Rob, you want to send out and offer all the clients, say, of a clothing or a furniture store that caters to the children's market. And then when they come in, you offer them that they can sign up for a program. That was his pitch. I always remembered that. I thought it was a little bit genius. And I used that awareness and that idea along with all that I've learned from Dan Kennedy when I really got my studio going and I really started to implement the Ascension model. And it's a bit of a hybrid between just being a high-end photographer with a one-off session to putting people into a program, always with the Ascension model in mind. Now let me give you an example. One of the most successful programs we implemented was the Creative Kids Club, which was you get an album, 5 years, you get a session every 6 months of your child, and you get a 5x7. We used to sell those for $149. We sold a crap load of them. Baby's first year wall panel. Oh, by the way, let me go back to the Creative Kids Club. So you have Creative Kids Club Silver, Gold, and Platinum. Okay, so the silver is the core pitch, $147 or $149. Then you can add 2 more albums and a couple of free bonuses, and you know sell that for say $700. And then you have the platinum one, which is crazy expensive. You include a bunch of just throw a bunch of extra stuff that they want, you know they're going to want. And then what will happen is 40% to 60% will immediately go up to gold, and minimum 20% will go to platinum just because they have to. That's just human nature. There are 20% of the population just have to go to platinum. They have to get the best that you have. So I've noticed that over and over and over again. And I've used that model, the Ascension model, in Creative Kids Club. I did it with the family, 5-year family plan. I did it with the one of the most popular marketing promotions that we had done. Actually, there's 2. Is the baby's first year wall panel, which we do not push as much. And the reason I don't do it as much is because it's a 1-year commitment and we travel quite a bit. It's hard for us to be here if we're gone for 3 months out of the year. So we started pulling away, and I got a little tired photographing babies too. So, but it's a really good program. So here's how it works. You give them so for $100, or well, actually we sold this originally at $47. Then we ramped it up quickly to $100. Then we ramped it up to $400 for the silver. And what it is, it's 4 sessions, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months of their baby. And they get a panel at the end. You can get plaque mount, you can get it matted, you can get it whatever works. Talk to your lab. You can create a 30-inch Slim Jim mounted on masonite board. Get your lab to do that with a a nice satin texture on it with a frame, a nice thin frame. People love this stuff, and it's a hot market, and it's kind of cool because you're relying on volume. And I did the same exact thing with the silver, gold, platinum. So we would send out sales letters, and/or people would find us on the internet. They would Google search us or find us through some display we had, and we'd send them a sales letter, or they go to our sales letter page on our website, and it would they'd see the pitch for the baby's first year. We always pitch the silver. They come in, we do the session, they like us, this is good, I'm excited, can't wait to see the pictures, and we set the date for them to come in and look at the results, and we go, oh, by the way, if you're interested, you can upgrade. We never hard sell this. It was always a soft pitch. And again, 40 to 60% would up to gold, and 20% would go to platinum. It was the coolest thing. Happened over and over and over again. All right, my final example with the Ascension model. And you know, it's as simple as just having, let's say, have a promotion for a family session, and then you have 3 packages, silver, gold, platinum. It's the same idea. You ascend from here to here to here to here. So with the probably the most recent and the most profitable, the most successful promotion that we're doing now is fairy portraits. We've become known in our community as the Fairy Portrait Studio, and they are amazing. Very, very popular, very lucrative, and we do the same basic strategy. So there's a core pitch, $97, and they come in, we give them an experience. They love what the experience is all about. They love the results, and then we have promotions and upgrades that they can buy. So they don't have to, but I'm telling you right now, 99 to 100% of the people upgrade. We don't even have to push. We don't even have to sell hard. If you don't want to sell hard, it comes across, you know, it's not so good. So same idea. So that's the Ascension model. So it's a stepping stone. If you can visualize, you know, let's say steps going up the side of a hill or a ladder, or you know, you have to get your clients, sort of lead them up the mountain, one step ascending higher and higher and higher. And they'll get to the point where, oh, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm happy. So the Ascension model is my core marketing strategy that I've used in my photography studio over 30 years so far, and it's worked out fabulously well. And so think about it. Think about what you can do for your photography business that will be suitable for an Ascension model, and it's really universal. It applies to virtually any industry. I mean, if you think about it, you could use the same thing for senior portraits. You could probably do something that's sort of like a senior portrait, but for younger kids in middle school, or you could do something for executive portraits, families. Not sure it would work for weddings in a sense. Well, yeah, in a sense it would, because for many years we offered free engagement sessions at the local jewelry stores, bridal shops, and they come in with for their free engagement session. And of course, by the way, we do weddings. So there you go. Hopefully this has given you something to think about, and I really appreciate your time. If you have any suggestions, as I reach over here for the off button, click the link below, subscribe, and give me your thoughts in the comments. I'd appreciate it.